Hey everyone, Temporal here, and today we have some news. Super, the golden child, or the face of the Overwatch League, has decided that he is retiring. He had previously continued on with the shock there, been in there, but we see this post as of an hour ago saying that, hey, he's out. He's saying it's not because of Overwatch 2 or anything like that, but we do all, of course, understand that he is under NDA. He pretty much has to say that. He can't reveal that something is because of Overwatch 2. He's also very likely got contracts with the Shock, which would be an Overwatch League team, that don't let him disparage, the setup, owl, that sort of thing. But while those things are likely true, it doesn't necessarily mean that all is bad with Overwatch League 2. I'd certainly be concerned about that. I'd certainly be worried about that, but there are other ways that this could work. He could have simply figured out that no, there is way more to be made as a streamer because he is, effectively Overwatch's biggest streamer right now. And if Overwatch 2 brings back a bunch of people with its beta, if this is going to be how the rollout works, where we're not just going to get okay, and now it's live, but we're going to get this, okay, we have this beta, then this beta, then this beta, and we just decide when it goes live. He could have realized that that's the format. He could have realized that there's way more money to be made, and that could be what's happening here. But let's take a quick look through it. This isn't a long read, so I'll read it on air for you guys. This is Super saying, this was not an easy decision for me to make. Before I start, I would like to say that Overwatch is a game for which I am eternally grateful, as it has given me opportunities in my life that I could only have dreamed of. For the past 4 years, and since the beginning of my adult life, I've given my all to Overwatch and Overwatch League. The people I have met and became friends with during that time will be people I remember for a lifetime. So yes, he did start in the very first season of Overwatch League. He actually got signed when he was too young to actually play, so he had to wait for like half the season before he could start for them, a stage or two. However, I have had reservations about whether or not I could do another season for a long time now, and this would be perfectly appropriate. This could absolutely be true. 4 seasons in Overwatch League is a lot more than most of even the stars in Overwatch League have done. Some of the best players have left. Yes, there's a few people around like Carpe, etc., who have been around the whole time, but there's a lot of people who have left and moved on to other games. 4 years in Overwatch League is a long time for the average here. And I really thought I had it in me to play again and to give it one last run. Unfortunately, while preparing for the 2022 season with scrims and playing the game competitively, it made me realize that I don't have it in me nearly as much as I thought. Which, again, could be perfectly real, but isn't necessarily correct. He is very much... It is very likely that he is not allowed to say, oh, it's because Overwatch 2 isn't as interesting as I thought. I can tell Overwatch 2, at least based on my opinion, is going to flop, that sort of thing. He can see that game. He's playing that game, both as one of the Overwatch League pros and because he's a big enough deal streamer, especially in the Overwatch scene. He's basically their biggest streamer, that he very much has access to that game, or the beta of it at least, and he's getting to see things that we aren't. But with that access came a contract that says, hey, you're not going to be able to share anything about this, including, hey, it's so bad that I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. That's definitely something that lawsuits would come after him from Activision Blizzard if he were to say that. So we don't really know. I realized how much I had lost the passion to compete and how much it was wrecking me mentally and emotionally. This was a decision that has loomed over me for a very long time now. Right. You cannot compete at the highest level. You can't do it when you're only 3/4 of the way into it. You have to be in it. And if Super, as an adult now who's been out here for a little bit, has really become, the big streamer and may have realized, hey, there's more money to be had elsewhere, it's probably hard for him to keep his passion focused on this. So this could be real. He is very likely making more money streaming than he is playing for Owl. And I feel this is something I have to do for myself. It pains me to say and do this, but I realize that staying would sacrifice my own happiness and health, eventually bringing my team down in the long run, which, that's the right decision if you don't have it in you anymore. And you see this I've obviously coached teams professionally, contenders, collegiate, etc. If someone is mentally out of it, if someone is out of it, they can try for a little bit more for the sake of their teammates, but they're not going to scrim as much. They're not going to, well, they may scrim as much because that's a team thing, but they're not going to grind the ladder as much. They're not going to work on their individual skills as much. They, might have started the season as your second best player and they'll end the season as your second worst player because everyone's improving over time, that sort of thing. So this is absolutely a real thing, whether or not it applies here. It being such a real thing would also make it the correct thing to point at if you were actually going, I have no hope for Overwatch 2, this doesn't make sense, I need to figure out what to do with my life. Which is something I would never want to do. I recognize my teammates. Coaches and people who are fans of Shock may be angry, disappointed, and upset by my decision to not finish the season. And I should say teammates shouldn't be upset. You just have to realize, it's annoying when someone leaves you in the middle of the season. He's leaving at the beginning of the season. Yes, after the signing window, things like that. But he's leaving at the beginning of the season before things are totally ironed out. And you would prefer that your teammates do that than go, I'm going to compete when I'm just competing for the sake of other people or only with 3/4 of my heart in it. And I cannot blame you. I truly feel bad about the position I'm putting my team in here, and I wish I could have it another way. To everyone I've ever worked with in Shock, I would like to say thank you. I truly believe this is a special organization who knows how to properly bring people together, and I believe that starts at the top with Andy and Chris, all the way down with every single teammate I've had along the way. Shock is definitely a bit of a special organization. They're the premier team in the league. They're, the most decorated team. They don't always win, but hey, Shock has definitely figured some things out. Without you guys, I do not think I would have lasted this long. As for what my plans are now, I will continue to stream and will still be supporting Shock in whatever capacity I can. And he may have worked out some exit deal with them where now he's going to be a Shock streamer and that causes him less penalties of having backed out of his contract, retiring, something like that, so he keeps some of it. Or more likely, they want him as a streamer, that sort of thing, because let's be honest, big streamer, you get it. Thank you to everyone who has supported me until this point, and to everyone who will continue to support me. I appreciate it more than words can describe. You guys gave me a life that many would dream of, and I truly would not have it any other way. They dream of it till they do it. Playing video games professionally is not the best thing in the world. I mean, he's making okay money doing it in the Overwatch League, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of hours that these pros put into doing this, and you have to remember, he put in hours and hours before he could get paid, before he was 18 as well, and none of those hours were compensated. And, he's been able to do this for 4 years, so he got compensated decently, maybe retroactively for the amount that he's put in, but for most people, they're not going to get paid, or they're going to get paid for 1 or 2 years, and they probably put a couple years in it before they got paid at all, and then when they do get paid, they're getting paid a middle-class coastal salary. Not amazing. But hey, it's not the life of glamour that everyone thinks. It's like, oh, they play video games for a living, that must be fantastic. You can make more money and have an easier life doing some other things, but that's okay. And I truly would not have it any other way. I wake up thankful every morning that I was able to do what I could, and I will be able to continue to do so. Thank you all very much. So, is this the end of the world? Is this good news? Is this bad news? It's hard to know for sure. It's definitely not good news. It could be bad news. It could be neutral news. Again, this could 100% be super, just realizing, wait a second, I'm a huge streamer in Overwatch. When Overwatch 2 comes along, I'm going to get, or when the beta comes along, I'm going to get a kick in viewership because there's going to be more eyeballs in this scene. And I can set myself up for life if this game holds on for a year or two by making a lot of money streaming, and that just makes way more to do than try to practice 10 hours a day, 6 days a week for Owl, and only get a little bit of streaming in here. Other people could come displace me, take my position as a streamer. Certainly wouldn't want that, right? I have to burn myself out streaming and playing, and I'm still going to get passed by other people who could stream more, that sort of thing. So absolutely could just be a financial decision of, hey, wait, what am I doing? Overwatch 2 is gonna, Overwatch 2 is gonna be good. It is gonna have eyeballs. I'm gonna do that. But it could also be, hey, Overwatch 2 is not going to be successful. I certainly can't play another season of this on Owl. It'll get a bump because every game gets a bump from the video game tourists that show up when a game first goes live effectively, and then you're in the, hey, I want to catch these viewers for a month or two, try to grow bigger off of it, and then pivot into other games, which he's already shown interest in doing. We've seen him playing Apex Legends. We've seen him playing other first-person shooters. He has the ability to do that. He, of course, doesn't get as much viewership, but that's the sort of thing that he might be going, need to use this flash in the pan to grow further and then move, because this isn't a game that'll hold on, and he got to see that before other people. So really tough to know for sure. I certainly wouldn't consider this good news, though. But what do you guys think? Do I have the right read on this, the wrong read on this? I don't know that I've really given you my read. I've given you a couple possibilities. I don't view this as good. I view this between neutral and bad, with a slight lean towards bad news, but only a slight lean towards bad news. We really don't have enough information, because the excuses that he's using absolutely are the correct ones and would apply to someone who's been playing the game at the OWL level for 4 years, but also has a large stream following and could go, wait a second, I could be done working in 2 to 3 years if I wanted to be, if I went and struck it big right now, that sort of thing. So let me know. Put stuff down in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Is this bad news? Is this good news? Is he just going, oh, hey, this game looks great, and that's why I want to stream it? Or this game looks great, but I'm done with Overwatch League because I just don't have it in me anymore? Or is this Overwatch 2 isn't going to be good? Isn't going to be good? I don't want to be tied to this game when I should be pivoting to another game immediately after the spike in popularity that Overwatch 2 will temporarily gain. You guys let me know. He will blow up as soon as he goes full variety, has the right personality for it. Totally possible. Totally possible. Just doing a quick catch up on chat here. Heck, wish this kid well for sure. It's not as painful as the Sinatraa departure, but pretty close. It's a tough one. I mean, they've lost sort of the face of their esport. Overwatch League has a couple times. And Super has sort of been the Western face of their league for a bit now. Seeing him go, not a great thing for the health of Overwatch League, especially when there's already, hey, they're moving to third-party production. Now Microsoft will be owning them for future seasons of the league. What will they want to do with it? It's not amazing to have someone that you've put marketing money and material into to see them leave. That said, he was there for 4 years. He wasn't the face of it for all 4 of those years, but he has been recently. You've given realistic possibilities, but I think it's bad news. I would lean towards bad news, but I wouldn't lean strongly towards bad news. Plays Overwatch 2 for 1 week and immediately retire. Yeah, I don't know that he was still streaming a lot of Overwatch 1 beforehand. I hear ya. I hear ya. Seems likely he was holding out some hope and that hope got dashed. Totally possible, but it's also possible that, he just realized, wait, this game is going to be good. I'm going to want to play this game. But I want to play this game on stream. I want to make that, I want to get that bag, make that money. He's got to be making more money streaming, especially, at the beginning of Overwatch 2 than he would in OWL. Like, that's got to be the case. And he realized, wait, why would I leave this behind? Why would I spend so many hours, 50, 60 hours a week prepping, doing OWL work when I could be streaming for 2/3 of that time and making significantly more money, as well as setting myself up with a longer-term career there. Okay. I think that's going to do it. If you guys enjoyed, please do drop a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Share your thoughts on, is this good? Is this bad? Why is Super actually leaving here? Maybe anything I missed about, other people that have leaked information about whether they thought it was great or bad. And, the NDA penalties aren't that bad. Yeah, they are. But that's okay. I'll see you guys in the next one.